Ahoy! I'm Layover in Prague to see some of the most famous and iconic landmarks, hiking up high to get the breathtaking views, finding parking at the Old Town Square, enjoying the late night music at the bridge named after me, witnessing the democracy at the Lennon Wall, and taking a big bite into the history of Apple, ending it by walking through the history's most magnificent architecture, the Prague Castle. Not to mention, eating local and getting around cheap, all in 16 hours, done safely, inexpensively, and easily. Welcome to Prague, the capital of Czech Republic and home to a population of 1.3 million, bisected by Václav River, and the nickname, the City of 100 Spires. It's known for its Old Town Square, the heart of historic core, so romantic, Gothic churches, and medieval astronomical clock. Lots of museums, and Charles Bridge, named after me. We'll visit them all. So, let's get out of the airport. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Prague. We have arrived and we're still at the airport, so the first thing we need to do is get some money and pay for the airport express down to city center. Now, the rate here is notoriously bad and there's 10% commissions on top. But I still recommend you exchange 10 euros or so, because if you go to the bank machine over there, you may pay a surcharge. And you can always exchange more money once you get to main school when there's lots of competition. With that being said, let's get out of here and let our journey begin. To take the Airport Express, you need to go to Terminal 1. So, I think we're almost right there. Alright, so this is where you get your tickets for Airport Express and as well as other public transportation here in Prague. I got my ticket and we'll exit that way. I think the bus is waiting for us. Let's get going. To thoroughly enjoy your layover, I recommend you have at least 10 hours between flights and allocate additional 2.5 hours for the return and check-in, since now believe it or not, the ride only takes about 25 to 30 minutes. One thing that's holding you back is the crazy traffic here in Prague. To minimize any luggage hassles and customs delays, try to check your bag to your final destination, or else you can use a bag storage at the Prague airport. Most hotels and hostels will store your bag for you, so if you have a really long layover or staying overnight, getting a room is not a bad idea. This is what I did, and thanks to my sponsor MeetMe23 for providing me with accommodation for the filming of Prague. They offer both dorms and private suites for all group sizes, and as well as in-house lounge, play area, pool table, and offer amazing buffet breakfast. The best of all, they're located right across from Prague 1's Airport Express terminal. Thanks guys! So as soon as you get off the bus, you can go right across to this side street right here with lots of exchange houses, and it's pretty competitive. Just forget about like 0% commission or no fees, all of this and that. Just ask them a simple question: how much can I get for 10 euros? And then pick the one with the best rate. Alright, here's a comparison. In the airport, I get 10 euros for 193 crowns. Over here, I end up getting 253. That's 2.5 euros different. And 2.5 euros goes a long way in a country like this. Let's head over to the closest and our first landmark, the St. Henry's Tower. So this is the alley where you can get like a panoramic view of the city. Well, not quite. You can take a look. They do have windows and you do get a nice view of the city, but not panoramic. What you can do is you can ask the reception to let you up for free and just have a quick look. I did that, and you may be able to do that and get lucky. This is the tallest freestanding bell tower in Prague. Its history goes back to 1475 when it was built in wood as a bell tower of Church of St. Henry and Cahutha as a parish church of the new town. The current stone version was built at the end of the 16th century. The tower was damaged several times, first by Swedes in 1648 and later by Prussian army in 1757, and finally a storm in 1801 destroyed the bell tower's roof. The tower was finally restored in 1879 and 2001. Right below the observation deck, occupied a restaurant, a small museum that highlights history of Prague's more than 100 towers. The tower also contains a cafe on the ground floor, as well as a place for you to get drunk at the whiskey bar. Okay, just joking. Next stop, just 2 minutes on foot with pickups on Explosive at the Powder's Tower or Powder's Gate, one of the original 13 city gates in the Old Town Prague. Originally, the tower was intended to be an attractive entrance to the city instead of a defensive tower. Now, the Power Tower is one of the most recognizable landmarks here in Prague. Initially, it was built in 1475, but the reason for that name is from 1715 and on, it was used as storage for gunpowders, and hence the Gunpowder Tower. The gate suffered considerable damage during the Battle of Prague, including some of the original sculptures on the tower that had to be replaced in 1876, with many original on display inside the observation deck. This is also where you can capture the most spectacular panoramic photo of this historic city, and I really mean it. You'll get a bird's eye view of many famous landmarks, but we need to get going to visit truly the heart of Prague, the Old Town Square. About 5 minutes on foot. Located in the Old Town quarter of Prague, the Old Town Square is home to some of the most significant historic sites in the country, including the dominant feature, the Gothic Church of Our Lady Before Thigh. The square center is home to the largest Christmas market in the Czech Republic and are visited by hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. In 2016, CNN rates Prague Christmas market among the world's best. And this is where you can come to pick up some souvenirs, but to make sure to bargain, and bargain hard, and aware of being shortchanged by the merchants, and try some local food. Right now I'm in the Old Town Square in the Old Town quarter of Prague. It's surrounded by Gothic architectures. For example, the Church of Our Lady High, and behind me is the Astronomical Clock, which is very famous because it was installed in 1410, making it the third oldest astronomical clock in the world and is still in operation. Prague's medieval astronomical clock is mounted on the southern wall of the Old Town Hall, and its oldest part is an astronomical dial dating back to 1410. The background represents the Earth and the local view of the sky. There was a scary legend being recounted that a clockmaker was blinded on the order of Prague councillor, so he could not repeat his work. In turn, he disabled the clock, and no one was able to repair for the next 100 years. Now if you want a panoramic 360, this is probably as close as you can get. This is the on top of astronomical clock, and from here you can actually see that there is not many columns, and you can really get a great feel of the city. Here in Prague, you not only have street lights on the street, there's also one inside astronomical clock. The reason for that is, as you can see how narrow the step is, so when the light turns green, it means you can go ahead. Oh. Now one of the things you have to understand here is there's so many museums, like most of them are pretty small and they are overpriced. So I recommend, because you're doing a layover, skip them. But there is one I had to see since I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs. But like everything Apple makes, the mission is not cheap. However, this is one of the very few museums in the world dedicated to showcasing the history of Apple and its founders. Now, as you can see, in Prague, there's lots of interesting museums, and this is one of them, this Apple Museum. And the reason I chose to come in here is because I have an iPhone, I have a Mac, and I do use Final Cut Pro, and I want to find out if there's something I don't know about Apple yet. With that being said, let's go take a look and see what I can find out. The exhibition includes the most valuable and most complete collection of computers from 1976 to 2012, along with other Apple, Pixar, and Next products, including an exhibit of rare prototypes of the computer that started in Steve Jobs' garage to the more historical, iconic flagship models that made the company famous. The collection also includes all models of iPod, iPhone, and iPad, and even the rare, early hard-to-find models. In all, the exhibit recounts the story and the soul where it became the most profitable and the most successful company in the history of humanity that touched the lives of all of us. If you're a loyal Mac user, I can assure you, after seeing so many vintage Macs, it will bring back a lot of memories. So boys and girls, I will tell you which Mac I have. I have this one, and this one. Actually, no, I have all of them. Actually, you know, after you come to this museum, you don't have a Mac fatigue. There's also a little bar for drinks, and if you dare venture to the underground dungeon, you'll find a little contemporary art gallery. Very, very interesting. The last tower we'll visit is the Old Town Bridge Tower, built in the late 14th centuries during the rule of the Emperor Charles IV. The gate was conceived as a symbolic victory arch through which Czech kings passed through their coronation processions. For an unforgettable view, the visitor must climb the 138 steps to the viewing gallery. So if you ask me which one of the towers will get you the best scenic view of Prague, this is probably it. This lookout point, you can see the river that connected Prague, as well as Charles Bridge, lots of people on it. And right across here is actually the historic, beautiful Prague Castle. It also served as a military purpose, forming a part of the fortification system of Prague, built to protect the old town against the northern invaders. It is one of the most impressive Gothic structures harrying the entrance to the old town and guarding one end of the Charles Bridge. So ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the Charles Bridge, and it's named after me. I'm the greatest travel host on this planet, isn't it? I mean, but I forgot everything else. I just need to check my Wikipedia 1 second. Oh damn it, okay, forget about what I said. It's not named after me, after all. This was actually built way before I was born, in 1357 when the construction started. Now, until 1841, this is the only way you can get from one side of the river to the other side. Czech legend has it that construction began on Charles Bridge at 5:31 a.m. on 9th of July 1357, with the first stone being laid by Charles IV himself. The exact time was very important to the Holy Roman Empire because he was a strong believer in numerology and felt that this specific time which fell a paleodrome and will endow Charles Bridge with additional strength. This is why I come to relax and chill out at night. Also tune into some free on-street live talent show or hang out with new friends. Hang out with saints. There are 30 mostly Baroque statues, and majority of them erected between 1683 and 1714, depicting various saints and patron saints varying dated at the time. I ended my night by visiting one of the most important sites in Prague that played a role in the struggle and led this country towards democracy, the Lennon Wall. John Lennon was a hero to the people of Central and Eastern Europe during the totalitarian era. The wall was a source of irritation for the communist regime as the young Czech expressed their grievance on it. Next morning, I woken up early to enjoy the amazing buffet breakfast at Meet Me 23. It's really, really good. But I have to eat fast, really fast, since it will be crazy for anyone to come to Prague without seeing its most famous and iconic attraction. Now, all attractions featured until now are located near the Old Town Square. In a chronological order, they are no more than 5 minutes walk from each other. If you decide to visit in different sequence, you can save time by taking the public transportation. The ticket costs about $1. However, you can buy them on board the tram, as they are only sold in the tobacco shops. But to avoid the crazy traffic, we'll be taking the metro to our last attraction, the famous and the iconic Prague Castle. To get there, take the Metro Green Line A to station Melomotska. Then follow the tram number 22. After 100 meters, turn left to the old castle stairs and climb up to the gate. I warn you, there's a lot of walking, so please allocate at least 1.5 hours for your visit. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Prague Castle. This is a very, very, very big place, and it's actually free to go in and see the exteriors of individual buildings, but to go into it, you need a ticket, and they come in big packages, and they're pretty expensive, and there's actually lineups everywhere. So my advice to you is, if you're coming over for a layover, forget it. Just go in, walk around, enjoy the beautiful architectures, and then be on your way. With that being said, let's head in and see what they have to offer. dating from the 9th century when the first wall building the Church of Virgin Mary was built. The Prague Castle has been an important symbol of Czech identity for more than 1,000 years. It is the official office of President of the Czech Republic. The castle was the seat of power for kings of Bohemia, holding Roman emperors, and the president of Czechoslovakia. The Bohemian crown jewels are still kept within a hidden room inside, and certain tradition remains even to this day. So one thing I can tell you that's free is witnessing the changing of the guard, and we're about like 2 minutes away from it. So with that being said, let's just hope this could be. It's really hard. Chinese, they are everywhere. We're taking over the world. With that being said, I'm going to have a selfie too. As you can see, they got some pretty nice shoes here. It's also very shiny too. According to a Guinness Book of Records, the Prague Castle is the largest ancient castle in the world. The castle experienced one of the greatest periods during the reign of Charles IV, between 1346 to 1378, when it became the seat of Holy Roman Emperor. The Loyal Palaces was rebuilt, the fortification was strengthened, and the construction of St. Vianney's Cathedral was initiated, following the style of Gothic French cathedral of the time. It covered the area of 45 hectares. The panoramic view from Prague Castle is one of the most spectacular in the country. And more stairs to get up. Remember this, you are doing a layover. Times and time. Alright. After walking this much, I suggest you take a pause at the castle's market on the way out. One of the most famous street snack is Trdelník, a kind of spit cake made from rolled donut that is wrapped around a stick, then grilled and topped with sugar and walnut mix. Afterwards, it's time to head back the same way to the hotel and get ready to leave for the airport. The airport express bus from the Prague main station leaves every 30 minutes from 5:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Depending on the traffic, the ride takes about 35 minutes and costs around 60 crowns or $2.75. With that being said, I hope you have an amazing layover here in Prague. So stay safe and have fun. Have a pleasant flight and see you next time.